Baina TV, connected to your world.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Baina News Updates. We're broadcasting live from Benab House, Medina, Atomic Junction. We're bringing you stories that made rounds in Ghana and beyond within the week. My name is Kwejo Luxury. In the headlines, government organized labor agreed to 15% cost of living allowance. 49% of Ghanaians to stop using electronic transactions due to Elevy, Afrobarometer report indicates. Best investment in the world is in human resource backbone. Follow us on social media platforms, Baina TV on Facebook and YouTube, Baina_TV on Instagram, Baina Media on Twitter. Read all the news making rounds in and around Ghana on our website, bainamultimedia.com. Now, the details. Senior high schools across the country are on the verge of being shut down as the shortage of food supplies worsens.
The education minister had said food supplies would reach the schools by Tuesday after the Upper West Regional Chapter of the Conference of Heads of Assisted Secondary Schools, CHAS, issued a 7-day ultimatum for the delivery to be made. It has, however, emerged that the government failed to see this promise through. In their defense, the Education Ministry's Public Relations Officer, Kwesi Kwarteng, revealed that there have been challenges with the delivery. The development has caused further agitation amongst heads of senior high schools across the country. The Eastern Regional Chapter is the largest to serve notice of a possible shutdown of the schools should government fail to deliver the supplies by the end of the week. Already, the 4 teacher unions have embarked on strike to demand cost of living allowance. On the back of these setbacks, some parents have called for the closure of schools.
Latest data from the Ghana Statistical Service has revealed that year-on-year inflation shot up further to 29.8% in June 2022.
This is the highest recorded since December 2003. However, the rate of inflation, according to the inflation curve, has begun slowing down comparatively to previous months. The rate of inflation was once again driven by transport, 41.6%, household equipment and maintenance, 39.6%, housing, water, gas, and electricity, 38.4%, personal care and miscellaneous, 31.7%, recreation, sports, and culture, 31.3%, and food and non-alcoholic beverages, 30.7%. These items recorded inflation rates higher than the national average. According to the figures, food inflation surged to 30.7% in June 2022 from 20.1% recorded in May 2022. Food inflation also went up by 3.4% to 29.1% in June 2022. For food inflation, oil and fats 58%, water 43.2%, cereal product 38.4%, fruits and vegetable juices 37.3%, milk, dairy products, eggs 35.7%, fish and other seafoods 34.7%, live animals and meat 33.5%, soft drink 31.1%, cocoa drinks 30.9%, and sugar and desserts 30.1% recorded in the highest rate of inflation. Similarly, month-on-month inflation between May 2022 and June 2022 was 3.0%, whilst inflation for locally produced items was 21.2%. That of imported items was 31.3%.
Ghana has heightened security along its borders following the jailbreak of some 443 inmates from the Kuje Maximum Security Prison in Abuja, Nigeria, on Wednesday, 6 July 2022.
The fugitives were amongst the 879 inmates freed by the jihadist group Boko Haram. 64 of the fugitives are linked to the terrorist group. In a memo to all its command, the Ghana Immigration Service official reports indicate at least 443 out of the 879 inmates that escaped as a result of the break are still on the run. Meanwhile, reports from Nigeria indicate that the Nigerian Correctional Service, Prisons, Lagos State, has beefed up security around facilities in the state to prevent a possible attack. The spokesman of the Lagos Nigerian Correctional Service, Rotimi Oladoku, confirmed reinforcement of security around the facility on Thursday. Oladoku was reacting to the recent jailbreak at Kuje Medium Security Custodial Center, Abuja, on Tuesday night.
Parliament has postponed the 2022 mid-year budget review, which was scheduled this week, until the government's engagement with the International Monetary Fund are completed.
The postponement is to afford the finance minister and his team time to fully cooperate with the IMF team. The mid-year budget review will now be delivered on Wednesday, July 27th. This was revealed by the majority leader Osei Mensah Bonsu on Thursday, July 7th. According to him, the ongoing meetings with the IMF involves the finance minister and his team.
Municipal Chief Executive for Bibiani Anuaso, Alfred Amoa, and his driver, Samuel Jesse, have died in an accident at Akim on the Accra-Kumasi Highway.
According to the police report, the Bibiani Anuaso MCE and his driver were traveling towards Bibiani from Accra aboard the Assembly's Nissan Petrol 4x4 with registration number GC 2060-18. However, on reaching a section of the road at Akim Fisher in the eastern region, a diesel articulated truck traveling from Kumasi veered off its lane and had a head-on collision with the vehicle in which the MCE was traveling. The MCE, together with his driver, who got trapped in their vehicle, died instantly. The bodies of the deceased were evacuated and sent to the Chebi Government Hospital morgue with the help of the Ghana National Fire Service, GNFS, officers from Bonsu and Chebi. The police has since commenced investigation to find out the cause of the accident.
The government has agreed to pay organized labor 15% of the cost of living allowance, and therefore striking labor unions have agreed to call off their strike and return to work.
4 teacher unions, namely the National Association of Graduate Teachers, NAGRAT, Ghana National Association of Teachers, NAT, the Coalition of Concerned Teachers Association of Ghana, and the Tertiary Education Workers Union, TEWU, have been on strike for close to 2 weeks, demanding 20% COLA to cushion their members in the wake of the rising cost of living in the country. Other labor unions, such as health workers and senior staff of University of Ghana, all joined the call for the 20% COLA and issued threats to also strike if the allowance was not paid. At a crunch meeting in Accra on Thursday, 14 July 2022, the government, represented by the Ministry of Finance, Fair Wages and Salary Commissions, Ministry of Employment and Labour Relations, Ministry of Education and Ministry of National Security, agreed to pay organized labor, which is all workers in the public service, 15% COLA. The effective date for the payment is 1 July 2022. To this end, it was agreed that all industrial actions underway and threats of some will be called off.
The majority of Ghanaians are not confident that government will use the 1.5% currently being charged on electronic transactions to fund development projects across the country, an Afrobarometer report has revealed.
According to the Afrobarometer survey conducted by CDD Ghana, only 9% of Ghanaians are confident that government will use revenue from the e-levy to fund development. 51% of Ghanaians do not think Ghana will invest the proceeds generated from the e-levy into development projects. The reports indicate that 24% of Ghanaians are not very confident that the revenue generated from the e-levy will be used for its intended purpose, while 15% are somewhat confident that government will indeed use the accrued revenue for its purpose. Also, 47% of Ghanaians, despite the charges on electronic transactions, say they will continue to use electronic financial transactions. However, 49% of Ghanaians have disclosed that the e-levy will make them avoid or stop using electronic financial transactions.
The Speaker of Parliament, Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagben, has stated that Parliament is working towards the creation of a museum and an archival department to enable the institution to preserve and share with citizens relics of the legislature.
Speaker Bagben said this when he received 300 copies of a supply chain application book from the author, Professor Douglas Boatin. The speaker lamented the fact that reading culture among the youth is at all-time low. He referred to Ghanaian scholars who in the past stood shoulder to shoulder with world leaders and said this was only made possible because they took knowledge acquisition very seriously. Speaker Bagben urged members of parliament to read more to improve their knowledge of new trends in politics and parliamentary practice.
The Vice President of the Republic, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, is optimistic that Ghana will this time around emerge stronger after going to the International Monetary Fund for support.
Ghana has already begun discussions with the IMF to provide balance of payment support as part of a broader effort to quicken Ghana's build back in the face of challenges induced by the COVID-19 pandemic and recently the Russia-Ukraine crisis. Speaking at the official launch of the Accra Business School IT program on Thursday, 14 July 2022, Vice President Bawumia said it will take a lot of hard work and difficult decisions for Ghana to bounce back. Dr. Bawumia stressed that the twin external factors of COVID-19 and the war in Ukraine, which he said has also led many countries to the IMF for support, following rising costs of living and inability to sustain debt levels, has also exposed the need for Ghana to put in place measures to be more fiscal discipline. Dr. Bawumia also observed that successive governments have failed to achieve long-term economic stability after each of the past 17 IMF programs due to the lack of system to ensure sustainable stability. Hence, the government focused on ensuring such systems are put in place. The Vice President noted that since 2017, government has been focused on building this system, which include a biometric national identification card, functioning digital property addressing system, and an aggressive financial inclusion program, digitization of government service, and many others, which he said are enhancing services and making access easier, reducing corruption, and strengthening domestic revenue mobilization. He therefore called for a renewed focus on building and strengthening this system alongside enhanced fiscal discipline to ensure sustainable economic recovery after the latest 17th IMF program.
The minority has shut down the approval of a $1 billion syndicated loan at the committee meeting, despite IMF advice that it should be approved to prevent the economy from grinding to a halt.
According to the ranking member of the Finance Committee, Atuforsin, their decision was because some concerns, including defects in the document raised by the minority with regards to the loans, have not been addressed. He insists that until the right things are done, the minority side will not approve the $1 billion syndicated loan despite the IMF plea. When asked why they ignored the advice of the IMF, he said they only take advice from foreign partners and not instructions.
Many thanks for doing the watching. My name is Kwejo Luxury. Do enjoy the rest of the programs.